Remember to hit that subscribe button and the bell, and if this inspired you, hit that like button and share for the best in meditation, activation, and alignment.
Beautiful children of the stars, it's time to talk about one of the most magnificent cosmic beings that exists out there. Today we're going to talk about cosmic whales. And this is actually a soul group of origin, a starseed origin. And who knows, maybe you are one of them. So,
you are divine.
Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. I brought you some little gifts that I picked up off the beach. Oh, I'm dropping them. Look at this. Isn't this magnificent? Isn't this beautiful? What the ocean gifts us with. Yes, this is real. This is not green screen. Right here, I'm going to show you. See? It is real. I came here to the seaside to talk about cosmic whale beings. And if you're wondering, how do you know all this? The information that I get is from my Akashic record journeys, mostly from clients that I work with. Right now, I'm bringing these gifts from the ocean because the water on this earth is very, very important. And who are the ones that are the guardians of the water? They are the whales. So the whale beings that we have on our beautiful planet Earth are more than just animals, right? The whales are one of the species that live in a high vibrational 5D consciousness here on Earth, right? We know that animals many times live in 2D. They have a 2D consciousness. We humans 3D, hopefully going up into 5D, but there are a few species that are actually living this high vibrational frequency of 5D, and the whales are one of them. Okay, so let me put this down. All right, so whale beings are truly magical, expansive, very, very important beings in our galaxy, not only on Earth, but in our galaxy. There are a few species, or I would say starseed origin types, that are very, very important. Now, for starseed origins, you can put them in two categories. One type of starseed origin that you can look at is the planet or the star system, and we know this. We know that some of us are from the Pleiades, Arcturus, the Andromeda Galaxy, Spica, and so on and so on. That is one type of starseed origin that we can look at. The other type of starseed origin that we can look at is the type of being that you were, that I was, that we all were in our first incarnation, right? So we weren't all humanoid species in our first incarnations. A lot of us were whale beings, dragon beings, horse beings, cat beings, the felines, right? Unicorn beings, many, many different kinds. We know that in the galaxy out there, especially in the Milky Way, if we're just talking about the Milky Way, there's over 500,000, over 500,000 planetary systems with life, right? It's a lot. That we're the only ones, I don't know whoever had that idea, it's like, it's not so intelligent. There are so many planetary systems out there, and there are a few very important, very powerful, very magical types of beings, species, right? Cosmic species that are proliferant, that incarnate, that exist in many different star systems. And the ones that I mentioned are some of them. So the very important ones for our galaxy, the ones that are very powerful, very important, are the feline beings, right? Lions, cats, they exist on different planets. They're the dragon beings, and the draconians are a subcategory of the dragon beings. The other ones are the cetaceans, whales and dolphin beings. The other ones are humans, humanoid beings that kind of look a little bit like us with variations on different planets. Also, the horse beings are very, very important. So those are the ones that we know that exist. And I'm going to make a video on each one of these types of beings. So today we're going to focus on the whale beings, because each kind of being, each type of starseed being, each type of body, each type of evolved, I would say, species out there has its certain role and place and tendencies and qualities that are really, really, really important in the universe. Of course, I didn't mention all of them. So if you say, what about the fish? What about the birds? They all have their place. These are just some of the ones that we know and that we can relate to, where we have a lot of souls on earth that are actually beings of this kind in their first incarnation. And as a frame of reference, as far as I know, I am a first incarnation cosmic whale being, right? I know I always say I'm Pleiadian. I identify most strongly with the Pleiades. But in my very first incarnation, as far as I know, as of now, we always expand and learn more. As far as I know, as of now, I am in my heart, in my soul, in my first incarnation, a cosmic whale being from a parallel dimension. So, yeah, if you're new to this channel, you're going to be, oh, what is she talking about? This sounds a little bit crazy. But listen to this video. Tune into the energies of what I'm talking about and see if there's truth in it for you. And at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about where these cosmic whale beings are and give you some examples. So stay tuned, watch the whole video. It's going to be really interesting. Okay, now, whale beings. The whales on planet Earth, the whales that we know that are the physical whales, the blue whales, the orcas, sperm whales, all the whales that we know, they hold an important role for us. They're important for the existence, for the survival of our planet. Because whale beings have the ability to change the vibration of the waters. And the waters hold knowledge for our planet. The waters hold energy for our whole planet. We are all water-based. So the oceans are so important. And without the whales, the energy, the vibration of the oceans would change. The oceans would actually die if the whales die out. So if we humans kill off all the whales, make them extinct, I don't know what's going to happen to us. So whale beings have a very huge heart center. Their primary energy center is the heart, is the fourth energy center. It's heart. So they hold a vibration of love, of healing. They hold a vibration of unconditional love. And this is the vibration that they emit and that they hold in the oceans of our planet, Mother Gaia. So they are very closely connected to the heart of our planet. And they are connected to information. So the second point is that the whales are able to hold incredible wisdom. They are keepers of time, they are keepers of information, they are keepers of history, of everything that's happened on our planet. Okay, so to get deeper into that, think about it. The oceans are very, very deep. And if you didn't know, the water is an element that actually is able to hold and encode information in light codes. That's why when I go swimming, every time, even in the swimming pool, I get download after download. I receive light codes. I heal my body. So if you're able to tap into the energies of the water, water is so healing. You don't even have to be a cosmic whale being to do that. But this is just so you know how important the water is. So the waters hold codes of life for us. The waters not only hold codes of information for the planet, for the history of the planet, the water holds light codes of life, even codes of DNA for how species are formed. It is an information that is so important to the evolution of a planet. We know that the first physical life, where did it originate? In the water. So the water does hold this information, and whale beings are the keepers of this information, the guardians of this information. And whale beings are able to dive deeply into the oceans where there are certain streams of very deep lying information, ancient information, important information. And the deeper you go in the ocean, the more important and deep and hidden and subconscious and ancient this information is. Does that make sense? I've seen this many times when I've channeled whales as spirit guides, or for clients or for myself. I've seen many times that the whales dive very, very deep, and if they want to know certain information, they know where to find it. They go into the ocean and they search, they look for, they swim until they find a certain stream, these currents of information that the water holds, and they're able to absorb this. They're able to integrate it. They're able to understand this information, and they are able to receive the light codes. So whales also hold light codes of life. And did you know that on this planet, actually, the first beings that were meant to be the conscious beings on this planet, like the conscious, highly evolved beings as we now as humans are, first of all, it was going to be the whales, but then in the end, that was discarded because it just wasn't the right fit. But they were the first ones who were kind of tested. They were testing themselves out. They were tested from higher realms to see if they would be able to be the ones of high consciousness on this planet, right? So, in the end, they are there as a highly conscious, I would say, holding. I see them like as a holding place, beings that hold high vibration, that hold love, that hold a grid. They hold an energetic grid throughout the planet that is really, really, really important. So the whales on this planet need to be honored and loved. And you can connect to the whales on this planet. It's very easy to connect to them because they want to heal. They are natural healers. So another point is that whales, because they have such an incredible vibration of love, unconditional love, and because they're such immense, vast beings, they hold a huge amount of energy. They're able to hold energy for thousands or millions of people even. One whale is even able to hold energetically hold the whole planet and all the beings on this planet. So if you want to heal your heart, if you are in grief, if you have had a hard time, if you are in despair, you can call on the energy of whale. You can even call a whale spirit guide into your life, and they will come. One spirit guide will come. As you know, one of my galactic members is Lola de la Luna. I introduced her in my galactic video. If you haven't watched it, I'll link it up there. In my galactic guide video, Lola de la Luna is the name of my cosmic whale spirit guide. And if you like, you can call her in. All my galactic team is there available for you if you want to call on them as guides. If you don't know any other whales, or if you don't know how to do it, you can call on Lola de la Luna from Natascha's galactic team of spirit guides, and she will come in and she will help you. Because whales have the ability, just by tuning in, by meditating, by visualizing, by imagining that you are cushioned by, that you are just lying on a cosmic whale. Just imagine the most beautiful big whale being floating through the sky, and you have this whale being a little bit as a bed. I always imagine this when I want to connect and I'm feeling really sad, or if I want to fall asleep. I imagine that I'm just lying softly cushioned on Lola the cosmic whale because she's so big. It's like a soft pillow, and I just feel this incredible love emanating up through my whole body, healing me on all levels. So whale beings truly are there to heal, to help, to break up the grief. And because their heart chakra energy is so big, because they're so immense, they're so big and so beautiful, they can in a second break up and help evaporate grief and anxiety and anything that you're feeling in a moment where you're feeling bad. They truly have the ability to do that. And you see, as I'm talking, the tide is slowly coming in. You see? The tide is coming in. I've been seeing a few creatures out there. Interesting. Usually when I'm here, some creatures appear. So I might have to move the camera over a little bit. Now, whales have a matriarchal society. Okay, so the females in the whale pods are very, very important, and that's why they have this absolutely loving, motherly, unconditional energy. And I think that's not such a bad idea, a matriarchal society. If we had a matriarchal society on Earth, I think things would be very, very different. So we can learn from the whale beings. They're very, very intelligent. Now, another thing that you can do with whale energy. Whales represent the deep subconscious mind, the soul mind. So if you want to access deep memories of your past lives, if you want to access perhaps incidents where you are traumatized, if you want to heal your inner child, if you want to do work like this, the whales will help you access this, because whales know how to go deep, and this is symbolized by the oceans. They can go very, very deep as the deep sea trenches even. So whales are able to go very, very deep and help you access those deep recesses of your memory, and they can help you access your soul memory and even go really, really far, far back into the past. And I was just realizing that because I am a cosmic whale being too. That's why I'm able to do this work so easily. That's why I am able to tap into past lives, off-planet lives, far, far, far back into time and space when I work with clients or when I go on journeys, because that's what whales do. That's what whale beings are here for. That's what they do. They can access portals of time and space. I'll give you one example. I was doing a meditation with Lola the other day, and I just said, take me, take me, take me. Take me down into the ocean, just let's go. She took me first to the moon, then into the ocean. And in the ocean, while I was traveling with her, I was kind of sitting on her, riding on her. I saw a crystal right there in the ocean. I said, what is that? And she said, that is the crystal of Atlantis. You want to go? You want to go to Atlantis? To a past life? I said, oh yeah, let's do it. So in a second, she took me to an amazing lifetime in Atlantis that I had there. And that crystal was huge. That was used to get energy from the sun. That was in one of the pyramids. So she took me there. And she was able to do that. While journeying with her, she opened this portal in time and vroom, brought me right into a past life. And it was amazing. It was really, really amazing, that past life. So that is one example. So if you want to access your past lives, you can just meditate a little bit, call in your cosmic whale being friend, call in a whale being to come and to take you anywhere that you want to go, anywhere in the universe, anywhere in the galaxy, because whales are also magnificent creator beings. That's what I feel. Whales have taken part in creating worlds, in creating environments, in the process of creation. So what you can do with a cosmic whale being at your side, there's no limits to it. It's limitless. It's truly limitless. So now I'm going to move up a little bit as the ocean is encroaching on me. I don't want to be caught in the tide. Here, you can see a little bit of where I am in the meanwhile. Can you see this? I'll just do a little walk around here. Beautiful, isn't it? Absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to stand here for a bit with the beach as the background. This is Canada, guys. This is Canada. Okay. Now, whale beings also have a very close connection to the moon. Obviously, the moon for us is connected to deep emotions, to things that are very spiritual, very deep, things that lie underneath the surface. And obviously the whales are all of that. And because the moon affects the water so much. Obviously the whales are very closely connected. So if you want to do some moon rituals, if you want to work with the moon, you could also call in a whale being to help you with that. I've found that whales love to serve as spirit guides, especially for people who are on a very strong mission. If you have a mission and a purpose, if you feel mission and purpose in your life, it could be that you have a whale being as your spirit guide to give you strength and confidence, to just support you. Whales are incredibly supportive. Also, when I've done past life readings with clients, a few of them have been in their primary or secondary or third incarnation. They have been whale beings, mostly on other planets, mostly off planet. So where do they actually come from? Where do whale beings exist besides for Earth? I feel that they exist in many, many, many different star systems all over the galaxy and in other parallel dimensions and galaxies as well. The ones that we know really, really well are the cetaceans, the whale and dolphin beings from Sirius. So Sirius is a place where there is a lot of whale beings. There's very large colonies of whale beings there, and they're very, very active there. Very often there are Sirian whale being spirit guides. A lot of clients I have, if you're a Sirius starseed, a starseed from Sirius, there's a high probability that you have incarnated as a whale being on one of the planets in that star system. Okay, so Sirius is a big one. Another one is Lyra. I have also seen whale beings on Lyra. I've had clients who were whales and dolphins in the constellation of Lyra in different planets. There's many different planets in that constellation, so they're from there. Also, I've seen whale beings in the Pleiades, especially on that one planet that is like a healing planet where there's this healing town, this healing academy. It's a really interesting video. Pleiadian Healers it's called. Check that out as well if you like. So I've seen whales and dolphins there. On that planet, in that beautiful city of healers, I've actually seen dolphins fly over rainbows like this. Do you remember that video? Woo, the dolphins, they have like energetic rainbows, and the dolphins, they go boom, they swim, they fly somehow. I don't know how they do it, over the city on the rainbows. So you see, starseeds are pretty amazing. What's out there is pretty amazing. So where else? Also, I've seen whale beings on Beta Centauri, Hadar. I've seen them there. And I feel there are also whale beings on Alpha Centauri, or they used to be. Now those are not the only ones. I feel that whale beings are so important for the waters in general. So I feel that they have agreed to exist on many, many planets to hold the information, to hold the vibration of the planet, to create that grid of light, the grid of high vibration, the grid of love that is so needed for the population, for that planet. And because planets love to have whale beings on them as their children, right? Okay, now there's one more that I want to mention. I've mentioned this a few times. Some of you know this. This is a parallel dimension, the planet of Farah, which is a water planet, which is my memory of first incarnation. This is where I first incarnated as a whale being. And this is a planet completely covered with water, dark blue, really deep oceans. And I feel that is one of the original planets where whale beings were created, or where they tried living, where they tried their existence. So it's a very, very ancient planet in a parallel dimension, in another universe, another galaxy, on the planet Farah. Okay, and now I feel I need the ocean in the background. As I'm talking about Farah, I want you to see that beautiful water here again. So, when I first channeled that planet Farah, it was maybe 2 years ago now. That's when I first consciously was aware of different types of starseed beings, of species exist, and that it is very, very important to learn about them. Not only to say, oh, I'm from Sirius, oh, I'm from the Pleiades, but what kind of being were you? Were you a cat being first incarnation? Were you a dragon being? Were you a horse being? Because each type of being has a very unique and very, very important energy structure, purpose, way of being, special gifts, vibration that it holds. And when I first tuned into that beautiful, beautiful dark blue water planet of Farah, it's a planet that's completely covered with water. It's dark blue. The oceans are very deep. I saw these huge, gigantic, really gigantic whale beings that were transparent, that were floating in the ocean. And you could see through them. And each whale being had two hearts, a big one and a small one. And that is because that was a planetary system with two suns, a dual star system, right? And I feel that each heart corresponded to one sun. You know that our heart corresponds to our sun, right? On each planet, each species has a heart that is finely attuned to that star of that star system. So our hearts are attuned to our sun. There's even theories that say that we as physical beings could not live in a different solar system, because our hearts would they would have a meltdown, because they're energetically, magnetically attuned to our sun, and they cannot beat anywhere else. We as physical beings, not as souls, as physical beings, human beings, let's say, right? So on the planet Farah, each heart beat in the rhythm of that star, of those two stars. And these beings emanated such an incredible energy of peace and love, deep love, but such a peaceful kind of love that it was just the most divine flow that I've ever felt. And these beings lived in harmony. There was no negativity on that planet. That planet was a pure planet of love and connection and flow. And these beings actually would communicate with each other, as well as telepathically and through vibrations and sounds. They would communicate with each other through changing their skin. They would have patterns and stories, like chameleons, appear on their skin. And that's how they would communicate with others. So if you would come close to someone you loved a lot, the skin of the whale would change maybe to a deep purple or a deep red, and the emotions would be reflected in the skin color of these whales. And these whales, they would go really, really deep, and it was really beautiful. These whales, this is where I learned everything that I talked about, plus later in other sessions, but this is where I first learned that whales can actually hold so much information and wisdom and knowledge. That's where I learned that whales go deep into the streams of the ocean and get their knowledge. It's like they're learning, they are assimilating knowledge. Oh, I thought first maybe they're whales. Maybe they are. Maybe some of them are whale beings. That's why they love the ocean. Wow. I told you usually some creatures show up, and they did. Beautiful. All right. So, that place of Farah. When I realized that this was my first place of incarnation, I'll never forget that moment. It was such a deep knowing, such a revelation, such an understanding of who I am as a soul, who I am as a person. So that's why I'm making these videos. It's so important for you to really start to connect to your soul. There's nothing more empowering than to understand your purpose, your mission, your energy, who you are. The question of who am I? Where am I from? What child of the stars am I? Where have I been? Where have I lived? Why am I here? Who am I? And answering this question through understanding your soul origin, understanding your connection to the stars is so deeply fulfilling and so important. So who knows, maybe you're a cosmic whale being too. So What I'm going to do right now, I'm going to get a little shell. Where is the shell? Here's one. Here's a shell. Ooh, and here's a rock. I like this one. You see this? And this. So I'm going to do a little activation for you. And I'm going to call in my cosmic whale, Lola de la Luna. And I want you to feel the strength, the majesty, the power, the love of this whale being. And I want you to be able to call in the energies of the whale anytime that you want. Okay, so let's do this. Seagull. It flew almost over my head right now. You hear the ocean is responding. The ocean is responding. Lola de la Luna. Come with me. This is for you. I love you all.